Hello everyone and welcome to RaceX Academy, the online platform where you can learn everything about mechanics for motorcycles and cars. I'm Dave, your instructor for today, and in this video I'm going to answer a very practical question that I'm sure many of you have wondered: is 50% brake pads good? Brake pads are one of the most important components of your braking system, as they are responsible for creating friction with the brake discs and slowing down your vehicle. But brake pads also wear out over time and need to be replaced periodically. How often you need to replace your brake pads depends on several factors, such as the type of brake pads, the quality of the brake pads, the driving conditions, and the driving style. But how can you tell when your brake pads need to be replaced? Well, one of the most common ways to check the condition of your brake pads is to measure their thickness. Brake pads have a minimum thickness that is recommended by the manufacturer or by a professional mechanic. When your brake pads reach this minimum thickness, they need to be replaced as soon as possible, as they can affect your braking performance and safety. But what if your brake pads are not at the minimum thickness yet? What if they are somewhere in between? For example, what if your brake pads are at 50% of their original thickness? Is that good or bad? Should you replace them or not? Well, there is no definitive answer to this question, as it depends on many factors that vary from vehicle to vehicle and from driver to driver. However, we can give you some general guidelines that can help you make an informed decision. First of all, you need to know what is the minimum thickness of your brake pads. You can find this information on the manufacturer's website or on the packaging of the brake pads. You can also use a special tool called a brake pad gauge or a ruler to measure the thickness of your brake pads yourself. Alternatively, you can ask a professional mechanic to do it for you. Secondly, you need to compare the current thickness of your brake pads with their original thickness. You can find this information on the manufacturer's website or on the packaging of the brake pads. You can also use a special tool called a brake pad wear indicator or a ruler to measure the difference between the original and current thickness of your brake pads yourself. Alternatively, you can ask a professional mechanic to do it for you. Thirdly, you need to calculate the percentage of wear of your brake pads. You can do this by dividing the difference between the original and current thickness by the original thickness and multiplying by 100. For example, if your original thickness was 10 millimeters and your current thickness is 5 millimeters, then your percentage of wear is 10 to 5/10 times 100 is equal to 50%. Finally, you need to evaluate if this percentage of wear is acceptable or not for your vehicle and your driving habits. Generally speaking, the lower the percentage of wear, the better. This means that your brake pads still have plenty of friction material left and can provide adequate braking power and efficiency. However, this does not mean that you should never replace your brake pads until they reach the minimum thickness. There are some situations where you may want to replace your brake pads sooner than later, such as if you notice any signs of poor braking performance or safety, such as noise, vibration, pulsation, fading, or pulling. If you drive mostly in urban areas with frequent stops and starts, which can cause more wear and tear to your brake pads than highway or rural driving. If you drive mostly in mountainous areas with steep slopes or curves, which can cause more heat and stress to your brake pads than flat or straight driving. If you drive in extreme weather conditions such as rain, snow, or ice, which can reduce the grip and efficiency of your brake pads. If you drive with a heavy load or tow a trailer, which can increase the weight and pressure on your brake pads. If you plan to sell or trade in your vehicle soon, which can increase its value and appeal if it has new brake pads. On the other hand, there are some situations where you may want to wait a bit longer before replacing your brake pads, such as if you notice no signs of poor braking performance or safety, such as noise, vibration, pulsation, fading, or pulling. If you drive mostly on highways or rural roads with less traffic and fewer stops and starts, which can cause less wear and tear to your brake pads than urban driving. If you drive on flat or straight roads with no slopes or curves, which can cause less heat and stress to your brake pads than mountainous driving. If you drive in normal or dry weather conditions, which can provide optimal grip and efficiency for your brake pads. if you drive with a light load or no trailer, which can reduce the weight and pressure on your brake pads. If you plan to keep your vehicle for a long time, which can save you money and hassle if you replace your brake pads less frequently. As you can see, there is no definitive answer to whether 50% brake pads are good or not, as it depends on many factors that vary from vehicle to vehicle and from driver to driver. However, we can say that 50% brake pads are not bad, but they are not great either. They are somewhere in the middle of their lifespan and they may still have some life left in them, but they may also need to be replaced soon depending on your situation. That's why at RaceX Academy we offer you a comprehensive course on mechanics for motorcycles and cars, where you can learn everything about braking systems and how to check, replace, and maintain your brake pads. If you want to enroll in our course or check out our other courses on topics such as engines, transmissions, suspensions, tires, and more, just visit our website racexd.com and sign up today. You will get access to high-quality video lessons, quizzes, exercises, and certificates that will help you improve your skills and knowledge. Thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more tips and tricks on mechanics for motorcycles and cars. See you next time at RaceX Academy.